Olivia Summers looked out the window of the Earth ship called Starseeker. She had worked on this ship for 3 years as the person who talked to people from other places. Today was not like other days. A big, shiny ship that looked like it was made of crystal had appeared near Earth. No one had ever seen anything like it before. Earth's army ships rushed to protect the planet. They were afraid. No one knew if the crystal ship came in peace or if it wanted to hurt Earth. The boss of Earth's space team, Director Cassidy, made a big choice. She picked Olivia to go talk to the aliens first. "We need someone who knows how to make friends, not enemies," Cassidy told Olivia. "Your team is the best choice." Olivia felt her heart beat fast. She had trained for this moment, but training was not the same as the real thing. She packed her special computer that helped translate words and got on a small ship with 5 other people. Commander Kelly Wright sat next to her. Kelly was in charge of keeping them safe. "Their ship is amazing," Kelly said as they got closer. "I've never seen metal move like water before." The crystal ship was beautiful. It seemed to change shape slightly as they watched. It had perfect straight lines, but also curved in ways that should not be possible. It glowed with soft blue and purple light. When their small ship connected to the big alien ship, Olivia took a deep breath. The door between the ships opened slowly. Olivia and her team waited to see what the aliens looked like. The beings that stepped through the door made Olivia gasp. They were tall, taller than any human. They had 2 arms and 2 legs like people, but their skin was not like human skin at all. It changed colors like the inside of a seashell, moving from blue to green to purple as they moved. Their fingers were very long and thin. Their faces had 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. But everything was more stretched and delicate looking. The tallest alien wore what looked like a crown made of living crystals. The crystals moved slightly and made soft music sounds. This was clearly their leader. Olivia had practiced what to say for weeks. She had proper, formal words ready. But when she looked at the alien queen, something strange happened. All her training seemed far away. Instead, she smiled and said something very human and very not formal. "Hey, sweetie. Welcome to our solar system." Everyone on her team looked at her with wide, shocked eyes. Kelly made a small choking sound. This was not the proper way to greet an alien leader the first time. Olivia felt her face get hot with embarrassment. The aliens stood very still. The little computer in Olivia's hand that was supposed to translate stayed quiet for a long time. Then something wonderful happened. The skin of the alien queen turned a deep purple color. The crystal crown made a sound like tiny bells. The queen tilted her head to one side and spoke in perfect English. "Yes, darling," she said. Then she made a sound like wind blowing through chimes. It was laughter. Olivia laughed too. Somehow, her mistake had worked better than the formal greeting ever could have. The other humans slowly began to relax. Some even smiled. "I am Queen Selene of the Lunari people," the queen said after they stopped laughing. "We have traveled very far to find your world." "I'm Olivia Summers. I speak for Earth, at least for now," Olivia said. "Why did you come here?" Queen Selene's skin changed from purple to a soft blue. "That is a long story, one that I would like to tell you when we are more comfortable with each other." Director Cassidy had told Olivia to invite the aliens to Earth if they seemed friendly. Now seemed like the right time. "Would you like to visit our planet? We can show you our home." The queen's skin brightened. "We would be honored. But first, will you join me for a meal on our ship? We should learn about each other before I meet your leaders." Olivia knew this was not what Cassidy had planned, but something told her to trust this alien queen. "I would like that very much," Olivia said. The next few hours were amazing. The inside of the alien ship was even more beautiful than the outside. Everything seemed alive in a way Earth technology was not. The walls glowed with soft light. The floor felt warm under their feet. The food was strange but tasted like the best fruit Olivia had ever eaten. Queen Selene told them about the Lunari people. They came from a planet far away with 3 moons. Their bodies could use light as food along with regular food. The crystals they wore helped them store energy. Olivia told the queen about Earth. She talked about oceans and mountains, about the many different people and animals that lived there. The queen listened with great interest. "Your world sounds wonderful," she said. "So full of life and differences. Our world was more the same everywhere." Olivia noticed she used past words. When talking about her home, something sad had happened, but the queen did not talk about it yet. When it was time to go back to Earth, Queen Celine walked with Olivia to the door between the ships. "I feel we will be good friends, Olivia Summers," the queen said. "I hope so," Olivia replied. "We have so much to learn from each other." The queen touched Olivia's hand. Her skin felt cool and smooth. "Thank you for saying 'hey, sweetie' instead of a formal greeting. It told me more about humans than any official words could have." Olivia smiled. "It wasn't what I was supposed to say. Sometimes the heart speaks more truly than careful plans," the queen said. When Olivia got back to Earth, Director Cassidy was waiting. "How did it go? Are they friendly? What do they want?" Olivia thought about the queen's changing skin, her laughter, and the way she said, "Yes, darling." "They're friendly," Olivia said, "and I think they need our help, though they haven't said with what yet. Queen Selena will come to Earth tomorrow to meet you and the other leaders." That night, Olivia could not sleep. She kept thinking about the queen and the Lunari. Something big was happening. Earth was not alone in the universe anymore, and somehow Olivia Summers, who once failed a public speaking class in college, had become the first human to make friends with aliens. Little did she know that this was just the beginning of a story that would change both humans and Lunari forever. 6 months passed since the day the Lunari crystal ship first appeared above Earth. Things had changed a lot since then. Olivia was no longer just a worker on the Starseeker. Now she was Earth's main person who talked to the Lunari. She was the ambassador to Queen Celine's royal court. Olivia and Queen Celine had become friends in a way that surprised everyone. They talked honestly with each other. They shared stories about their worlds. They laughed at the same jokes. Their friendship was not what people expected between a human and an alien queen. Today, Olivia was going to have dinner with Queen Celine in her private rooms on the big Lunari ship called Crystallis. Only special people got to visit these rooms. Olivia felt proud to be invited. The Crystallis was now parked in orbit around Earth. 3 smaller Lunari ships had joined it. The ships were so beautiful that people on Earth often looked up at night to see them shining like new stars. When Olivia arrived at the Queen's rooms, she found Celine waiting. The Queen's skin was a happy yellow color. Her crystal crown made soft music as she moved to greet Olivia. "Welcome, my friend," Celine said. "I have made food that I hope you will enjoy." The room was amazing. The walls looked like they were made of flowing water, but they were solid. Lights danced inside them. The ceiling showed what looked like the night sky from the Lunari homeworld. 3 moons hung among strange star patterns. They sat at a table made of the same crystal material as everything else on the ship. The food looked strange but smelled wonderful. Some dishes moved slightly as if they were almost alive. "This blue one tastes like your earth salmon," Celine said, pointing to a wiggly blue cube. "And this one is like your apples but sweeter." They ate and talked about small things. At first, Olivia told Celine about the new Lunari Human Friendship Center being built in New York. Celine told Olivia about how much the Lunari children liked Earth's music. But as they finished eating, Celine's skin changed from happy yellow to a serious, gray-blue color. She looked at Olivia for a long time without speaking. "There is something I must show you," she finally said. "The real reason we came to your world." Celine waved her long fingers in the air. A picture appeared between them, floating like magic, but it wasn't magic, it was Lunari technology. The picture showed a beautiful city made of crystal buildings like the Lunari ships, but even more amazing. Then the picture changed. Huge, dark ships appeared above the crystal city. They were nothing like the pretty Lunari ships. These were black and red with sharp points and what looked like weapons sticking out everywhere. As Olivia watched, the dark ships shot red beams at the crystal city. Buildings broke apart. Lunari people ran in fear. Many fell and did not get up again. "This was our home world, Lunara," Celine said in a quiet voice. "This happened 3 years ago. The dark ships belong to the Varixi Dominion. They are a species. that takes over worlds for their resources. They killed most of my people. Those of us on these ships are all that remain of the Lunari. Olivia felt sick watching the pictures. I'm so sorry, she whispered. We are refugees, Selene continued. We have been searching for a place to live, yes, but also for allies who might help us fight back against the Virixi. Why Earth? Olivia asked. There must be other worlds with more advanced technology than ours. Selene's skin turned a thoughtful purple. Because of something special about humans. You are unpredictable. You can be violent one moment and kind the next. You make choices that don't always make logical sense. Is that a good thing? Olivia asked. Very good when facing the Virixi, Selene said. They think in straight lines. They predict what others will do based on patterns. But humans break patterns all the time. Your art, your music, your ways of fighting. They don't follow rules that the Virixi can understand. So you want us to help you fight these Virixi? Selene nodded. And we need to do it soon. The Virixi have ways to detect when Lunari ships stay in one place too long. They know we are here by now. They will come. Olivia felt cold fear in her stomach. How much time do we have? 3 months, maybe less, Selene said. Her skin had turned an ashy gray color. I should have told your leaders sooner, but we needed to know if humans would be good allies first. We needed to know if you were kind as well as strong. And what did you decide? Olivia asked. Selene's skin changed to the warm purple color that Olivia had come to recognize as affection. You said, "Hey, sweetie," to me when we first met. No species we've encountered would do something so wonderfully unexpected at a first meeting. That's when I knew humans might be what we need. Olivia was about to answer when a loud noise rang through the ship. Lights flashed red along the walls. A tall Lunari guard rushed into the room. His skin was flashing between red and orange, a warning sign. My queen, a Virixi scout ship has been spotted near the outer planets of this system. Selene stood up fast. Show me, she commanded. The guard waved his hand, and a new picture appeared. A small ship, black and red like the ones that attacked the Lunari. Homeworld was moving through space near Saturn. It's just looking right now, the guard said. But where one scout goes, the fleet will follow. Selene finished. She turned to Olivia. We have much less time than I thought. You must warn your people, Olivia. The Virixi are coming. Olivia nodded and stood up. I'll tell Director Cassidy right away. We'll need to gather Earth's leaders and make plans. There is one more thing you should know, Selene said as Olivia turned to leave. The Virixi don't just destroy, they take. They collect genetic material from species they find interesting. We believe they use it to make themselves stronger. And do they find humans interesting? Olivia asked, already guessing the answer. Very, Selene said. Your adaptability would be a great prize for them. Olivia left the Chrysalis in a small ship and raced back to Earth. As she flew, she looked at the blue planet below her. Earth had no idea what was coming. The biggest threat humans had ever faced was on its way, and most people were still just going about their normal lives. She thought about her parents in their small house in Ohio. She thought about the children, playing in parks and going to school. None of them knew that alien warships were coming to take their world. Olivia's hands shook as she piloted the ship. She had to convince Earth's leaders to trust Selene. She had to help them understand that this wasn't a movie or a book. This was real. The Virixi were real, and they were coming to Earth. We'll be ready, she whispered to herself as her ship entered Earth's atmosphere. We have to be. Down on Earth, Director Cassidy was already getting reports about the strange object spotted near Saturn. Soon Olivia would tell her the truth, and then Earth would have to prepare for its first interstellar war. 1 month after the Virixi scout ship was spotted, Earth was getting ready for war. At first, many Earth leaders did not believe Olivia and Selene. They thought the Lunari might be lying to get human help. But when Earth's telescopes spotted 5 huge Virixi ships moving toward the solar system, everyone started to take the threat seriously. Now space around Earth was filled with ships. Earth had sent up every spacecraft it had. There were military ships, science ships turned into Fighting ships and even old space stations fitted with weapons. Next to them floated the 4 Lunari crystal ships, glowing with their strange blue-purple light. On the bridge of Earth's biggest ship, the Defiance, Admiral Diane Foster looked at the screen showing all the ships. She did not look happy. 7. Phyrexian dreadnoughts against our combined fleet, she said to Olivia, who stood beside her. The math doesn't look good. Olivia nodded. She knew the Earth Lunari fleet was probably not strong enough to win, but they had to try. The Lunari ships have special weapons that might help, she said, and Queen Selene says our best chance is to be unpredictable. Admiral Foster smiled a little. Being crazy is about the only advantage we have. My pilots are ready to try some maneuvers that no sane military would ever attempt. On the main Lunari ship, the Crystallis, Queen Selene was also preparing for battle. Olivia had been splitting her time between the Earth ships and the Lunari command center. When she arrived on the Crystallis, she found Selene looking at a big 3D map of the solar system. The Phyrexian will be here in 6 hours, Selene said without looking up. Her skin was a stressed orange-red color. Their main fleet, just past the orbit of Mars. Olivia stood next to Selene and looked at the map. The 7 red dots representing the Phyrexian ships were moving in a perfect formation. They looked unstoppable. The resonance cannon is charged, Selene said, pointing to a large crystal device at the front of her ship. But we only have enough power for one shot. We must hit their command ship. How will we know which one that is? Olivia asked. The one in the middle with these marking patterns, Selene said, zooming in on one of the red dots. If we can disrupt their central command, it might give us a chance. Just then, a Lunari crew member rushed in. His skin was flashing alarm colors. My queen, the Phyrexian have sent a message to all Earth communication systems. On a screen, a face appeared. It was unlike anything Olivia had seen before. The Phyrexian had gray skin with red markings. Their eyes were small and black. They had no nose, just breathing holes. When it spoke, its voice sounded like several voices talking together. People of Earth, we are the Phyrexian Dominion. Your planet has resources we require. Your species has genetic material we desire. Surrender now and some of you will be permitted to live as workers. Resist and you will all be harvested. You have 1 hour to decide. The screen went dark. Olivia felt cold fear in her stomach, but also anger. Well, that makes the choice easy, she said. We fight. 5 hours later, the battle had begun. The Phyrexian ships had arrived faster than expected. They broke through the outer defense line of Earth ships in minutes. Now they were pushing toward Earth. On the Defiance, Admiral Foster was trying to coordinate the Earth ships, but it wasn't working well. The Phyrexian seemed to know what the Earth ships would do before they did it. They're predicting our standard attack patterns, Lieutenant Samantha Pierce reported. Every time we try a standard military maneuver, they're ready for it. On the Crystallis, Olivia watched as the Lunari ships tried to hit the Phyrexian with their energy weapons. But the Phyrexian ships had strong shields. The Lunari weapons weren't doing enough damage. We need to get closer to use the resonance cannon, Selene said. But their fighters are keeping us back. Olivia thought hard. Something wasn't making sense. How do they always know what we're going to do? She asked. It's like they can read our minds. Not minds, Selene explained. Patterns. The Phyrexian study patterns and how species fight. Then they predict what will happen next. It's how they've conquered so many worlds. Suddenly, Olivia had an idea. Patterns? That's it. They predict patterns. What if we create chaos instead of order? What do you mean? Selene asked. Tell your ships to stop following any pattern. Do the opposite of what makes sense, and we'll tell the Earth ships to do the same. Selene's skin turned a doubtful blue color. Fighting without strategy? Not without strategy, Olivia said. With anti-strategy. Do what no logical military would ever do. That's what you said humans were good at, right? Being unpredictable. Selene thought for a moment, then nodded. It might work. The Phyrexian hate chaos. It disrupts their predictive models. They quickly contacted Admiral Foster. At first, she thought the plan was crazy, but they were losing badly, so she agreed to try. What happened next was the strangest battle in human history. Earth ships started doing things that made no sense. Some flew directly at the Virixi, then turned away at the last second. Others pretended to retreat, then spun around to attack. Ships sent false information on communication channels. Some turned off all power to look dead, then powered up to fire when Virixi ships passed by. The Lunari added to the chaos with their crystal technology. They created false sensor readings that made it look like there were Earth ships where there weren't any. They made some ships look bigger than they were and others smaller. For the first time, the perfect Virixi formation began to break. Their ships started to move out of position, confused by the unpredictable actions of the Earth Lunari fleet. "It's working!" Admiral Foster shouted over the communication link. "They don't know what we're going to do because we don't know what we're going to do." Celine watched the Virixi command ship. It had moved forward, trying to restore order to the Virixi fleet. Now it was in range of the resonance cannon. "Now!" Olivia shouted. Celine fired the resonance cannon. A massive beam of energy shot from the front of the Crystallis. It hit the Virixi command ship right in the center. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the command ship began to vibrate. Cracks appeared in its hull. Light poured out. The Virixi ships all seemed to freeze for a moment. Then they started moving in strange, uncoordinated ways. The resonance cannon disrupted their connection to each other, Celine explained. They function as a group mind. Now they can't communicate properly. The Earth and Lunari ships pressed their advantage. They attacked the confused Virixi ships from all sides. 3 of the 7 Virixi dreadnoughts exploded. A 4th was badly damaged and tried to escape, but was caught by Earth fighters. The remaining 3 Virixi ships managed to retreat. They disappeared into deep space, jumping away faster than any Earth ship could follow. On the Defiance, people were cheering. Admiral Foster looked at the damage reports. Many Earth ships had been destroyed. Parts of 3 major cities had been hit by Virixi weapons. But Earth had survived its first space battle. On the Crystallis, Celine's skin had turned a victorious gold color. She looked at Olivia with new respect. "Your idea saved us all," she said. "No species has ever defeated a Virixi attack force before." Olivia smiled tiredly. "We didn't defeat them completely. 3 ships got away." "They will tell others about what happened here," Celine said. "That Earth is not an easy target. That humans and Lunari together are a force to be feared." Olivia looked out at the stars. "Will they come back?" "Yes," Celine said honestly. "But not soon. They will need to rethink their approach. We have time now, time to prepare, time to build better defenses." As they stood there, a message came in from Earth. Director Cassidy's face appeared on a screen. "We did it," she said, looking both happy and sad. "But this is just the beginning, isn't it?" Olivia and Celine looked at each other. They both knew this was true. The Virixi would return, probably with a bigger fleet. Earth and the Lunari would need to be ready. "We should celebrate tonight," Celine said. "Tomorrow we plan for the future." That night, as people on Earth looked up at the sky, they saw something new. The Lunari ships were glowing brighter than ever before, putting on a light show to celebrate the victory. Colors flowed across the crystal ships like dancing rainbows. Humans and Lunari had won their first battle together. They had much more to learn about each other, and much more to face together. But for tonight at least, they could rest knowing they had done what seemed impossible. 2 weeks after the battle with the Virixi, Earth was still cleaning up and counting its losses. 3 cities had been damaged by Virixi weapons. Many brave pilots had died in space. But the planet was safe, at least for now. Olivia had been working, non-stop, helping coordinate between Earth leaders and the Lunari. Today she received a strange message from Director Cassidy. "Come to the old research base in Nevada. Bring Queen Celine, tell no one else." Olivia found this odd, but she trusted Cassidy. She went to the Crystallis and found Celine working with her engineers to repair battle damage. "Director Cassidy wants to see us," Olivia said. "In Nevada. She says it's important." Celine's skin turned a curious yellow-green. "Did she say why?" "No. Just that we should tell no one. Selene nodded. I will come. Let me finish here first. 3 hours later, Olivia and Selene arrived at a military base, hidden in the Nevada desert. The base looked old and unused from the outside. Armed guards met them and checked their IDs carefully before letting them in. Inside, they went down a long elevator that took them deep underground. When the doors opened, they found themselves in a large, clean research facility. It looked much newer than the old buildings above ground. Director Cassidy was waiting for them. She looked tired but excited. Thank you for coming, she said. What I'm about to show you has been a top secret for 60 years. Only 5 people in the world know about it. Now you two will make 7. She led them through several security doors, each requiring her fingerprints and eye scan to open. Finally, they reached a room with a special containment unit in the center. Inside the unit was an object that made Selene gasp. It was a crystal structure about the size of a car. It looked very much like Lunari technology, with the same flowing lines and geometric patterns, but it was clearly very old. Parts of it were broken or worn away. This was discovered in Antarctica 60 years ago, Cassidy explained. It was found buried under 2 miles of ice. Scientists estimate it's been there for at least 50,000 years, maybe much longer. Selene moved closer to the crystal structure. Her skin had gone completely white, a color Olivia had never seen before. Her crystal crown was making high singing notes. The cedars, Selene whispered. The first ones. You recognize this? Cassidy asked, surprised. Not exactly, Selene said. In our oldest stories, there are tales of the cedars, a race that came before all others. They traveled the stars long before any other species. We have never found proof they existed. Until now. Cassidy nodded. We've been studying this artifact for decades. We couldn't make it work until recently, but 3 months ago something changed. It started to power up on its own. 3 months ago, Olivia said thoughtfully. That's when the Lunari arrived in our solar system. Yes, Cassidy said. We think it was responding to your ships, Queen. Selene! Selene placed her hand on the glass separating her from the artifact. May I touch it? Cassidy hesitated, then nodded. She pressed some buttons and a section of the glass slid open. Selene reached out with her long fingers and touched the crystal surface of the artifact. Immediately, the whole structure lit up with bright blue light. Patterns appeared on its surface, writing or symbols of some kind. Selene's skin cycled through colors so fast she looked like a rainbow. What's happening? Olivia asked, worried. It's sharing information, Selene said in a shaky voice. Genetic information. Oh. She pulled her hand away and fell to her knees. Her skin had settled on a deep shocked purple color. What did you see? Cassidy asked. Selene looked up at them, her large eyes wide. The first ones. They seeded life on many worlds. They took their own genetic material and modified it to create new species that could survive on different planets. Lunari are one of those species. And humans are another. Olivia felt like the room was spinning. Are you saying we're related? Distant cousins, Selene said. Our base genetic code comes from the same source, modified for our different worlds. This explains so much. Why we can eat some of the same foods, why our emotions are similar, why we connected so easily. Cassidy looked stunned. That's hard to believe. The artifact contains proof, Selene said. It has genetic maps of many species. The similarities between Lunari and human DNA are clear when you know what to look for. Olivia sat down on a nearby chair, trying to process this information. Humans and Lunari shared an ancient ancestor. They were family in a way. There's more, Selene said, standing up shakily. The artifact also contains information about the Virixi. What about them? Cassidy asked. They were not created by the cedars. They evolved on their own, and they have been hunting cedar species for millions of years. Why? Olivia asked. For our genetic material, Selene explained. The Virixi cannot adapt quickly to new environments. But cedar species can. It's built into our DNA. The Virixi want that ability. They hunt us, study us, and try to add our genetic traits to their own. Cassidy's face showed she understood the danger. So they didn't just attack Earth for resources, they want our DNA. Yes, Selene said, and they will keep coming until they get it, or until we stop them completely. Over the next week, scientists from Earth and the Lunari worked together to study the artifact. They confirmed what Selene had learned through her direct connection. Humans and Lunari shared a common ancestor, and the Virixi had been hunting cedar species for a very long time. The artifact also revealed something else. There were other cedar species out there. At least 20 different types of life had been created by the first ones and spread across the galaxy. Some might still exist. Some might be fighting the Virixi too. One evening, Olivia found Selene sitting alone in a garden on the Crystallis. A small part of the ship was set up to grow plants from Earth. Selene was looking at a rose, her skin a thoughtful blue color. "Are you okay?" Olivia asked, sitting beside her. "I am processing," Selene said. "All my life, I believed the Lunari were special, unique in the galaxy. Now I learn we are just one of many experiments by an ancient race. Does that make you less special?" Olivia asked. "I don't think it does." Selene's skin shifted to a warmer color. "Perhaps not, but it changes how I see everything, how I see us." She gestured between herself and Olivia. "You mean humans and Lunari?" "Yes, and you and me specifically." Selene's skin turned the soft purple that Olivia had come to recognize as affection. "I felt drawn to you from our first meeting. Now I wonder if that was some ancient genetic memory recognizing its own kind." Olivia smiled. "I don't think, hey, sweetie is genetic. That was just me being awkward." Selene made her wind chime laugh. "Perhaps. But our connection since then, it feels deeper than just friendship between different species." "Family," Olivia said, taking Selene's hand. It felt right somehow, despite how different their hands looked. "Yes, family," Selene agreed. Meanwhile, scientists studying the Virixi ships that had been captured during the battle made a disturbing discovery. The Virixi ships contained hundreds of small chambers filled with genetic samples. Some were from Lunari, others were from species neither humans nor Lunari had ever seen before. "They're collectors," Dr. Maya Chen told a group of military leaders. "They gather genetic material from every advanced species they encounter. Then they try to incorporate the best traits into their own genetic code." "How many species have they collected from?" Admiral Foster asked. Dr. Chen's face was grim. "Based on what we found in just one ship, at least 40 different intelligent species." "Are they all gone?" someone asked. "We don't know," Dr. Chen admitted. "But given what we know about the Virixi, it's possible many of these species have been wiped out after being harvested." This news made the Earth-Lunari alliance even more determined to prepare for the Virixi's return. They knew the 3 Virixi ships that escaped would bring back a larger fleet next time. Work began on new weapons and defenses. Lunari crystal technology was combined with human engineering to create ships and weapons that neither species could have made alone. The ancient artifact was studied for any information that might help in the fight. 1 month after the discovery of the artifact, Olivia was called to a meeting with Earth's top leaders. When she arrived, she found Selene already there, along with Director Cassidy, Admiral Foster, and representatives from all of Earth's major nations. "We have a proposal," Director Cassidy said. "Based on what we've learned from the artifact, we believe there may be other cedar species out there, other cousins of humans and Lunari. If we could find them, maybe we could form an alliance against the Virixi." "How would we find them?" Olivia asked. Admiral Foster pointed to a map of the galaxy. "The artifact contains star maps, with the locations where the cedars placed there created species. Some of these places are very far away, but not impossible to reach with combined human and Lunari technology." "You want to send a ship to look for them?" Olivia said, understanding. "Yes," Cassidy confirmed. "A mission of exploration, and diplomacy. And we want you to lead it, Olivia. You and Queen Selene. Olivia looked at Selene, surprised. Selene's skin was a bright, excited gold color. I have already agreed, Selene said, but only if you will come with me. Olivia thought about what this meant. Leaving Earth, traveling to distant stars, searching for other species that might be distant relatives to humans and Lunari. 2 years passed since the battle with the Virixi. Earth had changed in ways no one could have imagined before the Lunari arrived. Humans and Lunari worked together everywhere now. Crystal technology from the Lunari combined with human creativity had created many new things. Today was a special day. The first ship built by both humans and Lunari together was ready to launch. It was called the Alliance, and it was beautiful. It had the strong metal frame that humans were good at making, covered with the living crystal material that Lunari used. It could travel faster than any ship humans had built before. Olivia stood on the bridge of the Alliance, looking out at Earth through the big window. The blue planet looked peaceful from space. You couldn't see the places where the Virixi had attacked. You couldn't see the new defense stations that now circled the planet like a protective ring. Queen Selene stood beside Olivia. Her skin was shifting between excited gold and nervous green. Are you ready? Selene asked. Olivia nodded. As ready as I'll ever be. The mission they were about to start was both exciting and scary. They were going to travel to distant stars, to look for other species that might be related to humans and Lunari, other children of the Cedars. They would carry a message of friendship and a warning about the Virixi. Admiral Foster's voice came through the ship's communication system. Alliance, you are cleared for launch. Godspeed and good hunting. The ship's captain, Maya Chen, who had been promoted after her work studying the Virixi ships, nodded to her crew. Start engines. Prepare for departure. The Alliance hummed with power. The crystal parts of the ship began to glow with blue and purple light. On Earth, millions of people were watching through telescopes and on screens as the ship prepared to leave. Director Cassidy's voice came next. Olivia, Selene, we're counting on you. Find us some friends out there. Olivia smiled. We'll do our best, Director. Before they could leave, however, one more message came through. It was from the Deep Space Monitoring Station on Mars. Alliance, be advised. We're picking up signals from the edge of the solar system. It looks like Virixi communication patterns. Everyone on the bridge went quiet. They had known the Virixi would return someday, but they had hoped for more time. Captain Chen looked at the data coming in. It's not an attack fleet yet, just scout. Ships probably gathering information. Selene's skin turned a worried blue. The main fleet will not be far behind. They are building their forces. Olivia looked at Selene. Does this change our mission? Selene thought for a moment, then shook her head. No, it makes it more important. We need allies now more than ever. Captain Chen nodded. Agreed. We'll proceed as planned. The Alliance powered up its main engines. The ship moved away from Earth orbit, heading toward the edge of the solar system. Once they were far enough from Earth's gravity, they would activate the special drive that would take them to other stars. Olivia and Selene stood at the back of the bridge, watching as Earth got smaller behind them. They had a private viewing area where they could talk. Are you afraid? Olivia asked. Selene's skin showed patches of fear gray among more confident colors. Yes, but also hopeful. The artifact showed at least 20 cedar species, if even a few of them still exist. Then we might be able to form an alliance strong enough to stop the Virixi for good, Olivia finished. Selene nodded. And even if we don't find anyone else, humans and Lunari together are stronger than either of us alone. The Virixi don't know what to do with species that work together. They are used to fighting one world at a time. Captain Chen called from the main bridge. Ambassador Summers, Queen Selene, we're ready to activate the star drive. You might want to hold on to something. They moved to special seats and strapped in. The star drive was based on Lunari crystal technology but made more powerful by human engineering. No one was quite sure what it would feel like to use it. Star drive activating in 3, 2, 1. Chen counted down. The ship hummed louder, the crystal parts glowed brighter. Then, suddenly, the stars outside the window stretched into long lines of light. The Alliance jumped forward faster than any human ship had ever gone before. Olivia felt a strange pulling sensation. But it wasn't uncomfortable. After a few seconds, the feeling passed. Outside the window, stars still looked like streaks of light as the ship moved through space faster than seemed possible. "It worked," Captain Chen said, sounding relieved and excited. "We're on course for the Tau Ceti system. We'll arrive in 3 days." 3 days to reach a star that would have taken human ships years to visit before. It was amazing. After the excitement of the launch calmed down, Olivia and Celine went to their shared office to review their mission plans. The room was designed to be comfortable for both humans and Lunari, with normal chairs for Olivia and crystal formations that Celine could rest on. "The first system on our list has a planet that might support life," Olivia said, looking at the star maps. "The artifact suggests the Cedars placed one of their created species there. If they survived," Celine said. "Many things could have happened in 50,000 years. Wars, natural disasters, or the Virixi might have found them already. We have to try," Olivia said, "and keep trying until we find someone." Over the next few days, as the Alliance traveled through space, the crew settled into their routines. There were 50 humans and 20 Lunari on board. They worked together well, though there were occasional funny moments when cultural differences showed up. Lunari didn't need to sleep as much as humans, for example. They could absorb energy from light. The ship had special light baths where Lunari could recharge. Humans found these too bright to look at directly. Humans needed more solid food than Lunari, who could survive on light and just a little food. The ship's kitchen had to prepare very different meals for each species. But despite these differences, the crew got along well. They played games together in their free time. They shared stories about their home worlds. They became friends. Ani. The third day, Captain Chen's voice came over the ship's announcement system. "We are approaching the Tau Ceti system. All crew to stations, diplomatic team to the bridge." Olivia and Celine hurried to the bridge. On the main screen, they could see a yellow star with several planets orbiting it. The third planet looked promising. It was blue and green like Earth. "Life signs?" Celine asked. The science officer, a Lunari named Vela, checked her instruments. "Yes, the planet has an oxygen-nitrogen atmosphere. There are signs of technology, cities, energy usage, artificial satellites." Excitement filled the bridge. They had found an inhabited world on their very first stop. "Any sign they've detected us?" Captain Chen asked. "Yes," Vela reported. "Several of their satellites have turned to track us. They know we're here." "Are they sending any messages?" Olivia asked. The communications officer, a human named Lily Wu, listened carefully to her equipment. "Yes, they're broadcasting on several frequencies. The computer is trying to translate, but it doesn't match any language we know." "Can we send them images?" Celine suggested. "Pictures might be understood even if words aren't." Lily nodded. "Good idea. What should we send?" "Images of Earth and Lunara," Olivia said. "Pictures of humans and Lunari, and..." She paused, thinking. "The genetic code we share with them, from the artifact. If they're a cedar species, they might recognize it." They put together a simple message with these images and sent it toward the planet. Then they waited. For almost an hour, there was no response. The bridge crew grew nervous. Had they offended these aliens somehow? Were they preparing weapons instead of a welcome? Then Lily's console lit up. "They're responding, with images of their own." On the main screen, pictures appeared. They showed a world with 2 small suns in the sky. They showed cities built among giant trees. And they showed the aliens themselves. They looked both familiar and strange. They had 2 arms and 2 legs like humans and Lunari, but their skin was covered in short fur in various patterns. Their faces had large eyes and small noses. They looked a bit like cats that walked upright. "They're sending more," Lily said. "This looks like..." "Yes, it's their genetic code." Vela compared it to the information from the artifact. It matches. They are definitely a cedar species. The third one we've confirmed after humans and Lunari. More images came in. These showed the cat-like aliens fighting against ships that looked horribly familiar. Verixi, Celine said grimly. They've encountered the Verixi too. The last image was the clearest message of all. It showed the cat aliens standing together with figures that looked like humans and Lunari. All three species stood facing Verixi, ships holding weapons. I think they're saying they want to be allies, Olivia said. Captain Chen nodded. Ask if we can send a shuttle down to meet them. More image exchanges followed. The cat aliens agreed to a meeting. They showed a large open area near one of their cities where the shuttle could land. Who's going? Chen asked. Celine and I will go, Olivia said immediately. Plus a small security team and Lily for communications. Celine agreed. A small group will seem less threatening. As they prepared for the meeting, Olivia felt both nervous and excited. They were about to meet a new intelligent species, one that might be distant cousins to both humans and Lunari. The shuttle trip to the surface took 30 minutes. As they flew down, they could see the beautiful world below.